I think it's going to be something fun for everyone. I think it's really cool when a group of guys come together, because oftentimes we talk so much about like how guys need to maybe take a step back, but the opinion and the voice of young men do matter. And so we want this to maybe be like a safe space for everyone, and a space to where like our students on campus can ask those questions that they may not be able to ask any other male in their life. And so we will kick things off with Dr. Fields to kind of tell us her vision and maybe where she got the idea from with Ties with Guys.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would just like to thank all of you all for logging in with us on today for Tuesday Ties with the ULM Guys. This was something that came about through conversation with our students here on campus. There were several of them who felt that they wanted to have their voices heard. And so because of that, I felt that we could provide an area that was safe for guys to come in and speak. While I am not a guy, I am surrounded by great men. And as you can see, I can always start conversations off and click out of the way for you to have any types of conversations that you wish to have that may not include me. But sometimes it's good to have a girl around, because sometimes the girls' opinions really do matter, and they are very important, and they can help you along the way. So I will be in and out of conversations, of course, as we move through this. Uh, on Tuesdays, and it will be on second Tuesdays of each month. And as you can see today, you will see various individuals that have ties on that look somewhat similar to the scarf that I have on today. And those are going to be people that will be presenting to you on today. And I think that they have aligned an excellent program for you today, just to get some information from you to know how we will go farther. So thank you so much for joining us on today. And I'm going to turn it back over to Ahmad. Thank you.
All right, young men, so we can go ahead and kick things off with some introductions. So like Dr. Phil said, there are a few of us with matching ties. No, it didn't happen by coincidence. We all are going to be walking you through a bit of a presentation today. So we'll start with some introductions, because you always want to know who is speaking to you. So I'll go first. So my name is Ahmad Solomon. For those of you that do not know, I work in the Office of Recruitment as the Assistant Director of Student Experience.
I'm Jalen Samerman. I am a recruiter that works for recruitment as well.
Okay, I'll go next. My name is Lamont Wyndham. I'm the Human Resource Representative for ULM. I work in Conan Hall in the Human Resources Department, and I'm also over student employment on campus.
Hello, everyone. Oh, you got it.
That's Joel Sinclair down there. Hey, Joel.
Hey, Doc.
Go ahead, introduce yourself.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joel Sinclair. I'm the current coordinator of student activities here at the university. My main responsibility is advising your ULM Campus Activities Board, and I'm so happy to be here with y'all today.
And I'm Ron Berry. I still haven't figured out what my job is. It goes from everything from athletics to financing to running out of toilet paper in the dorm. You name it, I pretty much have dealt with it. So I'm here for you. Let me know how I can help, okay? Thanks for being here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Johnny Marsall. I'm the new student employment coordinator here at ULM. I'm currently in the Career Center, and I'm happy to be with you guys.
Suppose I'll jump on after you, Johnny. My name is Colin Burke, guys. I've been the career coach here at ULM's Career Center since September 2019, after completing my master's in psychology, where I was a student athlete on ULM's track and field team. And I'm pretty much your go-to person for all your Career Center service needs. And I'm also the coordinator of ULM's mentorship program.
All right, I'm Chris Williams. I'm the coordinator of Greek Life and Student Development. I really do a lot of different things. I help out every department as much as I can.
All right, so to kick off Ties with Guys, what better way than to maybe show some of you how to tie some ties in case you do not know how. So first up, Joel is going to demonstrate how to tie a bow tie for you. Joel, you are muted.
Oh man, it happens to me all the time, I swear. So like I said, happy to be here today. I'm sure some of y'all noticed that I don't match like everyone else. That's because I wanted to tie my bow tie for you guys. So to me, you know, I feel like it's bow tie or no tie. I've kind of, you know, kind of taken on that mindset whenever I joined my fraternity under Greek life here on campus as a sophomore. Learned a lot of tips as far as, you know, how to dress, you know, for everyday activities, for occasions, whether it be weddings, meetings, formal occasions, things like that. And I have one of my favorite ties right here. Nice little 4-panel ties, get some Kentucky Derby action going on. But in my opinion, and I'm just gonna undo my buttons, kind of to show you all the process. But to me, in a way, I found personally that bow ties are, once you kind of get the hang of it, it seems to be a little simpler than your average necktie. So of course, you will need a button-down shirt. Kind of goes without saying. You will need to tighten, or rather fasten, the top button, pop that collar up, and then you can start. Of course, tie measurements, it all depends on your neck size. I kind of found it by, you know, trial and error, but you will put it around you. Actually, let me see if I can angle it down more, maybe to stand up. All right, so I hope that this is as good as a mirror, but what I like to do, I'm right-handed, so I start from the right side. I make my right side shorter than the other side, and I line up that flat part at the end right here with the thickest point of the bow tie. After you get that situated and you feel comfortable, you take your fingers towards the top of your collar and just do a simple overhand knot, just like you would a shoe. Super simple, just like that. Tighten it up, you're ready to go. Second step is you're gonna bring your shorter side over, just like that. Kind of just fold it in on itself. You bring it over your neck where the skinny part is, and already you can kind of see it looks just like a finished bow tie, but we're not quite there yet. So kind of hold it in place as best as you can. You're gonna take this longer side, you're gonna bring it over and line it up with the middle of your shirt the best you can. And look at that, we're getting closer and closer. It looks like an unfinished bow tie. You got the middle going on. So I'm gonna turn to the side on this one. And look, if y'all really wanna learn how to tie a bow tie, if you really wanna get some practice, look me up on the ULM website. It has my office and my phone number. I would be glad to teach you guys. So you take it just like this and you fold it, kind of turn to the side, and if you kind of pull it outwards, there's a little knot going on. And y'all, I really hope I'm doing this right. It has been quite some time. But you take it, and then I like to say, you put your thumb up, you turn it down, open up your hand, take your fingers, and grab that thickest point of the tie. All right, you're gonna bring it around. And the hole's pretty tight, depends on the tie, but you bring it around with your first 2 corners first, bring it right on through. You can be a little rough with it if you like, and y'all can see it's come out just like that. You can, you know, take the time to straighten out the wrinkles, but after you get the corners through, you can kind of just leave it as is. As y'all can see, it's about time that we tighten this thing. So, best thing I can do, you take your back end and your front end, start tightening it, do the same thing. So the front and back, front and back. And you know what, guys? I will be honest with y'all, I did it incorrectly. This is quite embarrassing. So let me just start over, kind of just, you know, like I said, it's been a minute, you know, even the most professional tie-tiers mess up from every now and again. So I believe, let's see, how about we start from the other side, shall we? So same thing, flat bottom part, meet up with the middle, bring it over, Oh yeah, no, I can feel it. This might be it. Do the overhand knot, tighten it tight, let this go. Bring the short side over, line it up. Oh yeah, no, it's coming together. Might be speaking too soon, but it is coming together. Bring it around the middle, just like that. Bring it together, thumb up, down, hand out. Grab that bottom part, go around and then through, just like that. Bring your two corners out. You can let it go. Oh yeah, no, y'all, this is it. This is it. All right. So, like I said, and I swear, no more incorrections at this point, y'all. So, to make sure y'all have this right, you have to have your thickest points of the bow tie in the front and the back. So, give it a nice tug. You see the knot kind of coming through. You gently bring the thin sides out, retighten it as you would like, and then you got it. At that point, you can move the knot. You don't have to be gentle with it. Quite frankly, it will not move if you're gentle with it. Just adjust as necessary. Fold it. Bring your collar down around the back of the head. Look at that. Superstar fashion at its best. Beautiful. It took 2 tries, but we're 1 and 2. Look at that. Thank you. I wish I could hear all of your applause, but thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
In my opinion, at the end of the day, a good bow tie will really make your outfit pop. It'll leave more room on your shirt if you really enjoy the color or the pattern. Maybe you're just taking a wild guess if the colors match. I like to do, if it's a patterned shirt, try and find a solid colored tie. If it's a pattern tie, your best bet is a solid color shirt. Y'all probably know this already. A good button-down white shirt is always, always, always a good choice. Then you can go from there. So it's all about, what's your style. And I hope that I could help you guys today. I'm sure there's a little comedy going on, but there we have it. Any questions?
Good job, Joel. So you
Thank
guys
you.
saw Joel had a little fumble, but as men, we always want to lift each other up. And so Joel felt safe enough to let us know that he did fumble and he had the courage to keep going and show you how to finish the bow tie.
Yep,
So,
and hey, y'all, don't forget to get your buttons back if it has a little slit in there. And look, oh my gosh, y'all, I can go so many places. I can do like 10 weddings in one day if I wanted to. Thank you, Ahmad. Hey, look, one of the hardest things, like he said, is sometimes owning up to your mistakes and having good people around you really makes a difference. And at the end of the day, just like me, you can laugh it off.
thanks, Joel. So now Jalen is going to teach you guys how to tie a regular tie and also talk to you about some different knots that you can include when you do this. So we will make Jalen big so you all can see.
All right. Well, like you said, my name is Jalen. I work for recruitment. I'm going to teach you guys how to tie a tie. I had to learn how to tie a tie actually the first time when I came to college interviewing for a fraternity. So ever since then, I've been tying ties since then. I stick to one only style. I actually got some facts on ties. Let me pull it up. The tie. So neckties are most famous for Father's Day's gifts. I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. Who doesn't like a good tie on Father's Day? Approximately every year, Americans spend about 1.3 billion on neckties, and roughly about 100 million neckties are sold around the world. There are actually 177 different types of knots. There's 8 different famous ones. So like the Windsor knot, half, full, small. You got your regular knot where you just go around and make it look messy. There's different more, but there's over 170,000, which I didn't know that. You can actually purchase a bow tie bulletproof. So a lot of American presidents have worn bulletproof ties. I did not know this until I looked this up. Their tie might look cotton, but it's actually bulletproof. So it's actually weird. Stripes on American ties go from the top right to the bottom left. So top to that point. In British, it goes the opposite. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I actually looked up buying one just so I can have one myself, but I'm gonna take this tie off myself because this one's a little thick. So there's different ties. So you got like skinny ties, you got thick ties. Like if you can see, this one's pretty thick. You can always tell by like the bottom of the tie if it's gonna be pretty thick or not. Usually if it's like skinny, like this one, there's a difference. You can see on my screen, there's like a major difference. I usually stick to just skinny ties. That's because it's more fashionable. I'm gonna take this one off and I'm gonna stand up with it. Hopefully I can do a good job like Joel explaining, because I'm so used to tying one. I just do it so fast now, so bear with me. All right, so like Joel said, you gotta pop the collar up. And how I was taught how to tie a tie, it's usually different with your height and your body weight. So like some people are more long, some people are a little shorter. For me, I always tell people, or when I teach young men at different places, to always go around about that third button on the collar shirt. So like 1, 2, 3. So I usually, but for me, I always put it like right here because I'm just a little shorter. I'm on the average side, I guess. So this is my right, this is my left. So you go big and little. So I'm gonna talk big and little just so I make it easier. So I won't go left and right. So you want to take your, this is also the full Windsor knot. So bear with me. So you want to take your big side and you want to cross it over. And I always tell people to pinch right here. So you want to take that big side and have it on the other side, which is your left side. You want to take the big side, your big part, or the fat part, I always call it, and you want to go underneath the tie and come just straight over and keep it on that left side. So I'll do it again. Hopefully I'm doing this right. All right, so you take the big side, you cross it over, take it, just go underneath it. Some people do it different ways. I've seen different YouTube videos about it. So, but this is just the way I was taught. So you got it crossed underneath the your tie. So you're supposed to take it and go around. Hold on. Yeah. So you want to take this big side and you want to go around it and come underneath the other side. It's a little weird now trying to teach how to tie a tie. Okay, yeah, so I got it right. Okay, so I got it right. So you want to come from underneath from the big side on the other side, and you want it to be facing this way. So it's supposed to kind of look like this, yeah, to the side. So you want to face in the opposite side, so that's where you put the back tie at. And all you're gonna do is just take this side. Wait, I'm like Joe, I messed it up. I'm sorry. So I messed it up. Give me 1 second.
It's tough when you're actually
yeah, it's different. Yeah,
isn't it?
it's different. I'm sorry. So you want to take it, cross over, go underneath. I know this is right. I know this part is right. And then you're going to, somebody help me out real quick, guys who tie ties.
Go under. I think you go under.
Go under?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And then I think you bring it up through your neck and then down through the loop.
It's different trying to teach, so bear with me. Oh yeah, that's right. So you go under and then you want to take this side, I'm sorry, like I said, take this side that's facing you, and then you wrap it around. There we go. Okay, I got it now. Okay, there we go. So it's still gonna be facing this way, which is the back side of the tie. So all it is as simple as this way. So you can adjust it once you finish this part. So you're gonna take this side, cross over, and then you wanna come underneath with this big part. Try to make sure you guys can see. Come underneath, pull it out. So it's gonna kind of look like this. And all you do is you take your big side, I call it the big side, but you take your fat part, scoot it under in there real quick. Give me 1 second. And I don't have the length right, but you get the idea on the tie. So you just kind of pull it, make it a little tight, fix it up. I don't have it the perfect length that I usually get it for myself. And then sometimes you'll run into this area. So when you have like a short tie, you got to retie it. Like I said, you have to adjust with your body and how your height is. But yeah, so just like Joel, I had to mess up a couple times, and it'll happen to you when I'm getting dressed sometimes and I don't have a tie already, made, and where I can just slide it on and pull it up. It takes me 2 or 3 times. Sometimes I forget on occasion. So yeah, that's a tie, and yeah, I did my best. I was sweating.
All right, good job, Jalen. So guys, we went over how to tie a bow tie. We went over how to tie a regular tie. And so for me, I love some friendly competition. So if you guys have a tie handy, what I would like for you to do is go ahead and grab one. And the quickest person to tie their tie or their bow tie will get a prize. So if you have your tie, go ahead and show me and I'll count you guys down. So we have Dylan with a tie, we have Bryce, John has a tie. All right, John has a tie as well. Looks like Davis is maybe grabbing a tie. Jen is grabbing a tie as well. So good luck, guys. Don't let the tie defeat you. You defeat the tie. All right, so 3, 2, 1, you're off. And the first one to finish, maybe just stand up so I can see that you are done. All right, so it looks like Dylan is our winner. Congratulations, Dylan. So we will connect with you later, Dylan, to get you your prize. But congratulations, you must tie ties in your sleep on a daily basis. All right, so we will keep moving. So we will kick it over to Lamont, and he is going to go over some first impression type things with you all.
And Ahmad, if I can just jump in 1 quick second.
Sure.
Thank you so much. And Dylan, I would have to say you went really fast because I'm texting to tell them to don't forget to turn the music on, Chris. And as soon as I told them to turn the music on, then you were finished tying your tie. So thank you so much for that. And for everybody else, I would just like to say thank you all for participating with that quick activity. So we have 2 or 3 more items that we will do. And then we will have comments from President Barry and also from Dr. Graves, and then we will keep moving. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I'm here to talk to you about first impression and your appearance. And the great news about your generation is most of you guys already care about your appearance, so I don't have to talk that much about it. I was raised by my grandmother, and she always taught me once you stay prepared, you won't have to worry about getting prepared. So if you know me, most of the times I'm already dressed or whatever case it may be. So I'm not going to be here talking at you. I want you to talk back to me. So I'm going to ask a question. There are 4 different attires for men. Can one of you tell me which one it may be? It's 4 of them.
Can you just repeat the question?
Yeah. So there are 4 different attires for men. What are they? You can tell me one.
Business casual.
Casual, business casual. That's one.
Formal.
Formal.
Yeah.
Business formal. 2 more.
Professional.
Professional. Last one is kind of tricky. Casual, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the last one. Small business casual. So you have business formal attire, business professional attire, business casual attire, and small business professional attire. So I'm gonna go over all 4 of those briefly to let you know which one applies to what. So first thing is business formal attire. This is where you go to your dances, your business dinners. If you get elected to the White House, you're gonna wear this in your inauguration ball. So most of the times it's tuxedos, bow tie or it's a tie. This is where you bring out your cufflinks and just be flashy. Just be flashy for that night. A lot of times if you see a wedding invitation that say black tie attire, that's the same as business formal attire. So that is something that you can use when you're going out on something special. It's a very special event if you're going to be business formal attire. The next thing is business professional attire. This is what most of us wear every day. A lot of time with business professional attire, you're wearing a suit with a tie. You don't necessarily have to pull out all the strings like cufflinks and bracelets or anything like that for formal attire. Business casual, something comfortable that you can wear, especially if you're planning on presenting or making some kind of presentation. I would suggest wearing business professional attire. A lot of you are in student organizations or you plan on becoming a part of a student organization. Business professional attire is the best way to go, especially if you're trying to apply for a job. This is the right time to start. A lot of you are already student workers. For those who are not and want to be a student worker, business professional is your go-to attire to impress your employer, which is your manager or supervisor. So tie, nice suit, make sure it's comfortable. I know with this generation, you like to wear slim fit, skinny attire. We didn't really have a lot of slim fit and skinny attire when I was growing up. It's a clean look, don't get me wrong. But sometimes you really need to watch, as Jalen said earlier, if you can wear skinny, then wear skinny. But if you cannot, I cannot tell you how many times I interviewed somebody and they could not, their suit made them look uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable when you're presenting and you have to look comfortable when you're applying for a job. So be sure that you, your suit actually fits your body and actually looks great on you. You don't look uncomfortable in a job interview, trust me. The last attires are business casual. So business casual is also an attire that most of us wear every day. So it's mostly polo, dress shirt, button-up downs, khakis, and nice dress pants. A lot of us wear this every day. I see a lot of students wear that. That seems to be y'all fashion. So that's great. That's great. Continue learning about business casual. Now, the last thing I mentioned was small business casual. A lot of people don't talk about that attire, but that was something I learned in college. And what it is mostly you have people that own their own business, a small business, or they are self-employed and they just work by themselves. They wear a polo shirt, khaki jean-like type. It's not really jeans, but they're khakis, and they have a jean material. That's called small business casual. I would wear that if you like a farmer, or if you're going for an ag organization, and they say dress as comfortable as you can, but be sure you're professional. That's usually small business attire. So I would go with that if it's not anything, if you're working out in the field and construction or anything like that, that would be my go-to small business casual. But other than that, that's the 4 attires to wear. And I would definitely say, I get a lot of questions about this. Does my attire matter when I go out for a job, especially if I'm going on a job on campus? Yes, it does. Your college students, however, you must get that practice in. Going to a job interview with flip-flops is not making a good first impression. Basketball shorts, sweats, that's a no-no. Just go over all the attires that I mentioned. Business professional attire, business casual attire. You can never go wrong with that. With all that being said, are there any questions? All right, well, I'm gonna turn it back to Ahmad. And if you have any questions, I'm in Conan Hall. I know with those 4 different attires, it's like, okay, what do I use? How do I dress for an event? If you have any questions about that, you can hit me up through email, call me, or visit me, and I'll go over it with you. So am I.
All right, everyone. So all of you guys here today, you kind of get a cheat code, I would say, because next we are going to hear from our Career Center. So we have Johnny and Colin that are going to go over a few things with you all.
All right, guys. Well, that was a great segment that you did there, Lamont, even educating myself, who is always, coming by and teaching how people should prepare for interviews. But relative to this event, guys, not only is it about essentially empowerment of men and everything that revolves around it. Careers are obviously a big component of our own self-development as people, but also what would make for a meaningful life that we're all trying to strive for. And some of you may not have a good grasp of what you want to do for the rest of your lives. And that's something that is completely fine as a college student, and something that I always say to people to remind them of how they could better steer the ship towards their careers. Just pay attention to what tunes you in and what tunes you out. We don't always have jobs in mind that essentially lean towards our interests, but we all have times where things grab our attention and things that we don't really have interest in. And how those things can be leveraged in a field in the career is something that, as you grow your self-awareness, the ship can be steered in your way. I myself, working in the Career Center, was not always sure about what path I wanted to go down. I was always interested in sport, but through an interest in sport, I developed a passion for teaching and coaching and everything like that. And that's a fundamental part of what I do pretty much here in ULM as a full-time role, but also as a volunteer assistant with the track and field team, as well as starting my own endeavors as a podcast host outside of the walls of ULM. And so just really learning as I go is something that you should always consider, and understanding, as I said, what gains your interest, what tunes you in, what tunes you out. But with regards to how you could get the opportunity to apply some of these skills that the likes of this program is teaching you, this upcoming month at the Career Center, we have a number of events that will essentially allow you to put some of your interpersonal skills and career opportunities to the test. We have a full lineup of events that I will leave as a link in the description of this chat, so that you can sign up for the likes of our elevator pitch competition, which will allow you to demonstrate how you would sell yourself in 60 to 90 seconds if you were talking to a prospective employer or business panelist pitching an idea, or a potential tell me about yourself question in a job interview. So essentially describing your experiences, your skill sets, leveraging towards a given role that you're interested in pursuing. We also have our career fairs coming up. Many of you know that traditionally we hosted our career fairs in Bayou Point Event Center, or also the sub before the ballroom. Now, because of the virtual transition that we've had, we are branching out not only to a virtual based fair that is run through our job board platform, Handshake, that's giving you group session access and one-to-one access to the employers that have signed up. So again, I will post the links to those in the description so you can learn more about how to sign up and get interacting with employers. Not only that, our elevator pitch competitions have prizes for the top finishers. So not only are you getting the opportunity to express your career ideas, communication skills, test your ability to publicly speak, but you're also getting a cash prize as a result. So it's a potential, win-win situation for you. And so you should take the time to look at your skill sets as they stand and leverage them in a good competitive way that will perhaps allow you to feel more comfortable in professional situations as you move forward. So you're also getting the opportunity to put forth Lamont's tips within the attire sense, showing up to the face-to-face elevator pitch competition, as well as the career fairs. Because not only do we have the virtual career fairs that you will be sitting in front of the camera just like you would in a real interview, you'll also have the opportunity, if you are an education major or a risk management and insurance major, we will be doing face-to-face career fairs, I believe, or as and also construction management. We'll be doing specialized fairs for those people that are in those majors in the upcoming months. So as I said, I'll refer you back to the link in the description, but very much be thinking about, you know, this program and what we're covering here today, material-wise, and our events as a platform to essentially test yourself and develop personally and professionally as you move forward. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in and just taking the time to better oneself. It's very, very time well invested. And I'll hand it over to Johnny now, who will give you a little rundown in his role as part of the Career Center.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm enjoying seeing you guys and participating in this event. So again, I thank you guys for being here. So a part of my position here is as a student employment coordinator is to kind of develop specific federal work study programs on campus, whether it's out of the departmental budget and our job location development program. And so kind of in connection to what Lamont says, when students try to go get student worker jobs, whether it's, you know, federal work study or just working for the department, that first impression is a lasting impression. So what I want to do is challenge you guys, whoever's seeking student employment opportunities on campus, let that supervisor, let that employer know, hey, I'm here to represent, I'm here to stay. And that first impression starts with you dressing appropriately, dressing professionally. And so with that, we do have a few opportunities available at this time on campus. We have 5 on-campus federal work study opportunities available. We actually have 1 off campus, and it's actually one of our community service employers. Very great, very great. And you can see this on our website, on our career page. And we're trying to solidify it. We actually just got one of our first from my understanding, our first JLD program employer. We're just trying to solidify things on that end as well. So there's, you know, many opportunities around campus and around, you know, our community that allows you guys to get that practice and take advantage of it. I mean, not saying it's not the real thing, of course, because these are real employers and they will be paying you, but allow this lower scale to prepare you for your career in the future. And I think that's very important with everything that everybody said. Dress for the occasion, dress to make that first impression a lasting impression. And if you guys have any questions regarding student employment, don't hesitate to give me a call. My information is listed in our directory, and you can find all of our information online in our career webpage. And again, I just want to leave you guys with, you know, we are the future. I think you guys are the future. So with that being said, you know, start preparing for it. And that all goes with dressing professionally. So you guys have a good one.
Okay, everyone. So since this is our first Ties with Guys, I'm going to pass things over to Chris to maybe wrap things up in a nice bubble for us to chat with you guys with like an open discussion right now.
All right. First off, appreciate everybody for getting on. Everybody looks amazing with the ties on. I like them. All right. So basically, the whole point of this opportunity that we're having right here is to provide us males with a safe place to voice our opinions and talk about things and foster conversations that can be difficult, you know, relating to navigating college, regular life, path to graduation, extra activities, Greek life, all that type of stuff, dating, stereotypes, all type of things. So with that being said, these next few meetings, I kind of want to see where you guys want to go with this. What do you want to talk about? So at this point, if you want to type it in the chat or if you want to say it out loud, I want to get where y'all heads are at and see kind of what you want to talk about for the remainder of this meeting or for the next one that's coming, because it's like it's every second Tuesday. So the next one will be in March. So what do you guys want to talk about these next few meetings? It could be anything that y'all want to talk about. We can help you with anything.
I guess I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So how are we going to promote this kind of moving forward so we can get more involvement and more active young men into ties on Tuesdays for the next meeting and, you know, for upcoming to keep it building?
Of course, I've seen it out in all the group meetings that I have, word of mouth, and also we're getting a cover made here soon by Sid, so we'll have that put out. It goes out in our weekly newsletter that Student Life does, and I'm going to also make sure we get a student-wide email sent out so that everybody can receive it.
Chris, can I add something in?
Yes, sir. Anytime.
So Dylan, I would also, whether there's tangible marketing out there, social media marketing, email, stuff like that, I would still encourage you guys to spread the good word about what y'all have experienced today. I see a lot of Greek men in this Zoom meeting today, and I know that y'all have, active members in your organizations, incoming new members, and even if y'all do have new members right now, I would add it into y'all's meetings. Even if you aren't a Greek man and you're an RSO leader or just starting out, I would just encourage the younger guys to, say, come into this with an open mind, join us, and we can really get some good discussions going. I would have loved to have this as a resource every once in a while, especially when I started my freshman year, but even more so whenever I personally started my my journey through the academic side and the extracurricular side.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Joel hit a good point. So this is super exciting for me because as a student, I didn't necessarily see a lot of people that looked like me in leadership roles. And so something like this can start to give you guys the courage for life after graduation or even on campus. Because sometimes it is scary to get involved when you don't see anyone that looks like you around. And so hopefully what we're doing here is to encourage you guys to maybe come out of your shell a little more and to just like do things like you never thought you would do before. So
could we discuss the proper way to introduce ourselves to maybe the higher ups or people that we look up to? Because I know sometimes, like even in my lower, I was about to say lower grades, but when I was a freshman, sophomore, junior, I felt like I would show too much of my personality maybe, or say the wrong things when introducing myself, and maybe we could discuss the proper way to do so.
Elevator pitch competition. No, but in all seriousness, I think if you look up, especially when it's coming to a professional setting, look up on YouTube what an elevator pitch is, and it'll kind of condense the information that's necessary to mention, especially when you're meeting with a prospective employer or someone that you feel you need to quickly deliver your value or skill sets and information that you feel they might need to know by the end of your conversation. And it's really a 90-second spiel. And as I said, I'm going to keep promoting our events, but like the opportunity at worst is personal development. And then with the idea of a reward being at the end of it, a monetary reward or what have you, pretty sure the prizes are there advertised on the webpage. There's also a virtual elevator pitch competition. So if you don't want to do it face to face, you want to do it through Zoom, we're holding separate events for those. And looking up on YouTube what an elevator pitch is will give you a good idea of how to really just fine tune your delivery towards introducing yourself to professionals. So that would be a good place to start personally.
And John, I want to thank you for asking that. What seems to be a simple question, it's actually very complex because it depends on where you are. It depends on who you're meeting. In the South, we usually don't, as men, hold our hand out to shake a female's hand. We wait for her to offer her hand, but in the North, it's normal for you to extend your hand out to introduce yourself. So it's a very complex issue. It's something that we do need to talk about. So good question.
Yeah, I was going to pitch this idea. I saw somebody in the chat say something about mental health. I was going to suggest in the future, maybe we could possibly have a forum about men in the workplace with women. I think sometimes it's not get talked about when it comes to like Title IX and sexual harassment, how to approach, like John said, how to approach the opposite sex and things of that nature, because times are changing and things are changing. And so I think that'll be a great topic discussion, just so that way everybody can have a basis or an idea of when you go into a workplace, whether it's, student campus or a student organization or Greek life or whatever, dealing with the opposite sex, like on a professional level and things of that nature. So.
And John, I will give you one little takeaway. So you do have like something here today to hear. So for me, what's kind of like helped me out throughout my career is when I'm meeting someone for the first time, most of you know I have a little bit of an over the top personality, but when I'm meeting someone for the first time, I give them just a little bit to keep them wanting more, to intrigue them with myself. So when I first meet someone, I give you a little bit of my personality, but enough to be like, wow, like there's something about Ahmad that I want to see again and like explore further. So give them enough without giving them too much. And then some of you guys have put some really cool things in the chat. One of the ones that caught my attention the most is matching colors and modern styles of how to dress. So that's definitely something we can go over on future Tuesdays for sure.
Public works. Apparently there's a sewer line out at one of the frat houses. Oh, are you on mute?
Okay, so it looks like our discussion is slowly coming to an end of different topics that you guys want to hear. And so to wrap things up for us here today, and we're going to have Dr. Fields maybe give us a little bit of a closing while also having some of our administrators say a few words.
Thank you so much. And again, thank all of you. I'm going to yield to my colleagues and Dr. Camille, Dr. Berry, Dr. Graves. They're all on. I'm going to yield to them. And Brandon, I almost called you Scott, but I caught myself. Brandon, I would also like for you all to make comments too, because I don't know if we have anybody else on. I just have this one screen up. Let me go to the view. But anyway, I would like for you guys to make any comments that you have, and then we will be ready to close.
Go ahead, Dr. Graves.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to thank everyone for participating. I really didn't know what to expect. And thank Dr. Fields for putting this together. I don't know whose idea originally it was, but I'm assuming it was hers. But great format, very informative. Really looking forward to doing it again in the future. But I will say I may be one of the few that doesn't have a tie on today. So next time I'll try to do better. I am a business casual kind of guy, but I do understand the importance of appearance really in business meetings or if you're trying to attain a job. So again, much appreciated y'all being here. Look forward to future meetings.
Thank you.
I'll go next. Again, I appreciate what Dr. Graves just said. I concur completely. Just a great session. The whole thing about dressing appropriately, you know, that's so important. It also is important because it gives you a sense of confidence. So if you look right, you go into that interview and you're dressed appropriately, then I think that confidence will carry over. So that's important. Whenever I go out every morning when I'm about to leave for work, my wife checks to make sure that my belt, if I have a black belt, I better have black shoes, because she's going to send me back in and say that's a no-no. You don't match a brown belt with black shoes. So she keeps me straight. But that is an important thing, and even just matching the right tie with the right shirt. You don't really want a flashy shirt and a flashy tie. I agree. And I'm trying to remember who mentioned that point earlier, but that was a good point. Just great information and great advice and great camaraderie today. So thanks for letting me join in.
I'll go next. Hey, I'm Brandon Scott. I didn't introduce myself. I kind of I got a call about 2:45 asking me to jump on, so I am not prepared. I do usually keep a tie. I probably shouldn't tell off on myself, but I'm the director of recreational services, and so we're kind of across the bayou, and we're in the gym and outside and doing some sport type things. And I do keep a tie and a white button-down shirt in my office in case I do have to go across campus for that type of nature of a meeting. But I actually took it home over the break. But kind of want to reiterate what everybody else said. When I have students that are looking for a job, or even professional staff members that are coming in for an interview, how you're dressed goes a long way when you walk through those doors. I think how you dress shows me, when I first initially lay eyes on you, if you're actually prepared for the interview. Again, if you're coming in with flip-flops and a t-shirt and things of that nature for an interview, it doesn't matter whether it's for student work or a career job. It's got to be, that first initial impression it lasts, and I can tell you that from experience. And I know some other, that way when you come in, you're exuding confidence, you're dressed correctly. That makes a big difference. I'm kind of like Dr. Graves. I have to agree with him. We are business casual over here. A lot of polos and khaki pants and things of that nature. But kind of what Lamont hit on is exactly right. Know what you're walking into to make sure you're dressed correctly, and then that helps. I would like to leave you with something some advice my dad gave me years and years ago. Was always dress for the job you want, not necessarily the job you have. So, kind of keep that in mind. If you're wanting to move up the ladder and things of that nature, make sure you're dressing for that job. And the people, you never know who's noticing how your appearance. So always keep that in mind. But thank you for joining today. It takes courage to just to even get on this call. And want to be involved with these things. One thing I will mention, Dr. Fields said she got a question previous to this meeting from, I think, somebody that was on here or maybe going to join, regarding a heavy punching bag at the activity center. It's coming. It's in our equipment package that is coming, and it should be here mid-April. With the COVID transportation, it's just taking a little bit longer, but to get here than we anticipated, but it is coming. We will have one. And if anything for the activity center or University Park y'all would like to discuss, please feel free to reach out. We are always open. My door is always open. We want to make sure you guys and females as well have a good experience at the activity center for sure.
So I too want to thank Dr. Fields for starting this, and Ahmad and Chris for coordinating it. Thank you all for doing this. This is a super idea. And I want to thank each of you for showing up. I also think it's important for each of you to realize that we're all electronic now, we're all virtual, we're all together, but the people on here are available to you outside of the virtual world, one-on-one. If a couple of you have issues, let us know. Come talk to us. If you need privacy to talk about issues that are bothering you, we're here for you. And then I want to add just a couple of pieces of advice, kind of to summarize things up. Yes, I agree. You've got to look good. You've got to match everything. But most important, buy yourself a very nice, comfortable pair of shoes. Because if you feel good in your shoes, your whole body is going to feel good. So always have a very good, comfortable pair of shoes. Number 2, believe in yourself. There is a lot of times when you can look the part and you don't believe in yourself. It doesn't matter what you look like. You are attending one of the best universities in the world. You are getting an education that is second to none. You have got people all over this campus that care about you and your success, and they want nothing more than to create opportunities for you that you never knew existed and to help you take advantage of those opportunities. So all you have to do is want what we're here to provide for you. And I can promise you, if you will always be yourself, be comfortable with yourself, there will not be any situation that you don't do well in. I can remember, I was a dean for 17 years. And the first year I was dean, I was actually the 5th dean in a 6-year time period. So our office, the dean's office, had turnover after turnover after turnover. So my initial job was to reconnect with alumni. Now, I was fairly young then as a dean, and my colleagues here on campus referred to me as the baby dean. He's the baby dean. He's the baby dean. Well, I can remember very specifically, my wife and I, we had a young family. We flew to California. We were meeting with someone who was one of our alums who owned a home in San Francisco, Washington, and New York, and was on the board of directors, the international board of directors for the 2nd largest accounting firm in the world. So we flew out to San Francisco to meet with him. And I was going to impress him no matter what. And so I met him at this fancy restaurant. He says, "So would you like a cocktail?" I had no idea what a cocktail was. Okay, so here I was in my 30s with a doctorate at a meeting and with a donor, a very sophisticated donor. So I ordered a Miller Lite, okay, in this very nice restaurant. It was okay. I didn't think anything of it, so here we are eating, you look at the menu, there are no prices on the menu. It's one of those kind of restaurants. And so I'm thinking, oh gosh, is my credit card going to cover this bill when it comes? And so what I think comes as the bill, I say to the waiter, I said, "Here, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that. Give that to me. Give that to me." And John looked at me and said, "Ron, that's the dessert menu. It's not the check." And fortunately for me, he and his wife just started laughing and they made me comfortable. I was a country boy in San Francisco in a big time restaurant, way out of my comfort zone, but I survived. Now, that man has become one of the university's largest donors. And he has been a donor since that meeting. In fact, he's the one that sent a $100,000 check that was here for the first day that I moved into the president's office. He helped me grow as an individual. He helped me transition from someone who grew up in Winsboro to someone who can go to some of the finest restaurants in the country, be who I am, but represent ULM in a very positive way. And I think that's what Dr. Fields is envisioning with this group. Let us help you become the best you can be while being yourself, but you can feel comfortable anywhere in the world. And we want that for you. So please speak up. Please let us know how we can help you. We're here to do that. And fortunately, people like Jonathan have given us money. We have over $500,000 in our opportunity fund. So we need to start spending that money. So when you guys come up with ideas on how we can help you address things, we don't have to worry about going and asking somebody for money to do it, because people who have helped me along the way are now wanting to help you. So thank you for being here. I really look forward to the next one. And I'll turn it back to you, Dr. Fields.
Thank you, President Berry. I have no further comments. He has summed this up greatly. So there's no sense in me trying to come behind the president. He's done an excellent job. And I will just say to all of you all again, thank you so much for coming and logging on with us on today. And Dylan, what we may do is put you on our team to help us think about promotions. And so if you would just stop by, you can either stop by my office or go by any of the gentleman's office that you see on here with the ties on, and we can look at ways to be able to do any type of publicity that you think would be necessary to reach our students. And I think that that is fair, everyone. So if you have any ideas about anything moving forward, please feel free to either contact me or any of the gentlemen that are on, and we look forward to working with you. And as President Barry said, we want to make sure that we cultivate an environment for you to be the best that you can be. Thank you so much for being on today. Have a great evening.
Thank y'all.